Oh, we're live, and I have no idea what I am doing. So I'm just gonna get started with what I am talking about today. All right. So I don't expect a lot of people to be here in the beginning anyway. So I'm just going to kind of run a spiel and hopefully people will join as we're moving along. So I'm Jordan, guys. I hope everyone's doing well. I always like to start with positive wishes because there's just so much negativity out here and we don't really need much more of that anyway. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody Monday is off to a great start because, Mondays can be Monday, and mine actually is going pretty well. So hopefully we carry that momentum into this live. Today, I have a very deep topic. If you've been following along, you'll see some of the most recent posts I've made, trying to be more consistent on long form and short form content. I post a lot of short form, and whatever. It's just kind of like whatever I feel at the moment, not really niche down, but I do want to kind of zone in on what I want to build here. And yeah, so just a lot of thoughts I've been having is mainly around like identity shifts and identity crises, like crises, I guess you can say millennials may be experiencing right now. Um, my question is, like, have you ever looked around at your life and you worked really hard for this life that you build or tried to build, and then you realize that you don't really want it anymore? And that's kind of like the surface level thought, because I'm pretty sure boomers, Gen X, they've all experienced it as well. But what do you do? Like, a lot of them continued forward with a life that maybe they weren't fulfilled with. Um, and then maybe it's not always a bad thing. Maybe it's not even because you say your job, situation, friendship, relationship, maybe it's not toxic. Maybe you haven't failed. Maybe it's just because you've changed. And I'm not sure how, I don't know what other way to describe that. So that's what we're talking about tonight, is like what happens when the life that you built and it just no longer fits you, plainly put. So I'm welcoming you to Misfit Mondays. The concept of this is, if you're new here, as I said, I'm Jordan, and I'm a little bit of everything. Like, mostly, I'm known as a lyricist, as a writer. I come from Facebook. Obviously, I'm a millennial, so that's where the majority of my supporters and my base comes from. So that's what they know me as. They know me as a musician. That's all I've ever been up to a point. But in the background, I am a mama bear of three and a half being my old man. And in my vanilla life, I promote brands. I am an event manager, coordinator, whatever the case, whatever it is on that given day. And apparently, I am a podcaster with Millennial Misfits. And with that, I am a self proclaimed misfit and perfectionist, I might add. So, because for a long time, I never wanted to appear anything less than. Then I went through some shit in my life where actually is one of the factors behind I went on an almost 6 year, if I'm thinking about it, hiatus from like music, social media, all of that. I was on nothing. And then I logged back in because I thought I wanted to be a realtor. And then everything changed. And I was like, oh my God. But now, so I'm at the point where, given that this is the state of the world, this is me, and I'm no longer trying to hide that anymore. But with the things that I've been through, I am trying to grow from them. So with growing, my goal is to connect with others that feel the same. I try to go beyond surface level and say the things that we're really feeling, that, like, man, I really, I felt that, and create a safe space to share those thoughts and grow from them. That is so important because for the longest time, I didn't feel like I had anyone. And hopefully, this community helps someone to feel the opposite. So with that, Misfit Mondays, I think that's where we're going to be hanging out here on Mondays. It's where we'll have conversations most people avoid, the messy middle of adulthood and growth, reinvention, healing, all that good stuff. Um, the stuff no one really gave us instructions for, or in a way, a lot of millennials are starting to realize at least the wrong instructions were given. So, with that, I am not going to try to spill too much because I definitely will. I'll go into a complete like vent, and then we'll just be sitting here talking about nothing, about random stuff. And that's not productive. So I'm gonna ask a question. I don't even know how to use this. Can I add a poll? How do you add a poll? Start a poll. Okay. I'm gonna drop a poll off in the chat. And if you do come in, drop an answer, and we're gonna keep going. But I just want to know, what area in your life do you feel that you've outgrown the most right now? Because it doesn't always have to be your job. It can be maybe a friendship, maybe a relationship you have. So that's what we're going to stop here. So I got a poll up. For me, personally, I don't know. Am I such a broken person where I feel like I'm outgrowing all of these things? My career, and the thing is, I have a career. It's one of those, like, be careful what you wish for careers. It started off as gig work. I've been in management all of my life. And when COVID happened, things went down. I was working from home at that time, actually. But I don't know. Something happened or the other. And I went back outside to work because they didn't want to work, and rates were crazy high. They were paying you like $25 to go wash dishes because people didn't want to work. So I go from one gig to the next, just booking dishwashing gigs, serving gigs, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got introduced into the brand ambassador world. It was gig work, but essentially I was able to make a career out of it. I was self-employed for a long time. I built out a schedule, and that's what allows me to travel. And I positioned myself. No, I don't have a degree in marketing or anything, but I positioned myself, and now I'm an account manager. So I manage multiple programs across multiple states, right? And that's what I wanted. I was tired of being on the ground. I'm like, I don't want to listen to what you got to say because I know I can run this better, right? Be careful what you wish for, because, yeah, I think I'd rather be back on the ground. Just give me my duties and I'll just go home after I'm done. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about career right now. Um, Relationships. I don't know. I cut off a lot of people. I cut off a lot of important people because I'm just at a point where, if no one wants to bring positivity into my life, then I just don't want them here. I don't want to associate with them. I don't want to converse with them. I don't want to do any of that. So yeah, there's been a big relationship that I actually walked out of, and I don't want to say that that door is closed. It's just not a fit for me anymore. I've lost the. I don't have a lot of friends anyway. That's just it. It could be a me thing. I have certain expectations, and I don't know, get upset when those expectations aren't met. And it's not really conducive to being able to create fruitful friendships. So I could be a problem, but I'm going to say majority of the time it's because people are stupid. And you have to be equally yoked in friendships, just like you have to be in intimate relationships. And I'm not doing so well on that. And I think the biggest thing that I feel no longer fits is the version of myself that I've created. And I don't know where I'm going next. Like, I really wanted to be this, I really wanted to be a boss. I just wanted to own anything I did. And I felt like I could achieve pretty much anything I did. But, you know, life happens and then you have to learn how to get over stuff, which is actually going to be a great segue to where I want to go with this is kind of I've had to grieve like a previous version of myself, right? Um, most people feel like growth is exciting, and more often than not, it feels like a loss. Is what it feels because when you're growing, you're leaving a part of yourself behind. So in my case, example, this dream job of mine is slowly becoming a nightmare. Um, that's not fun. I've had friendships that oh, we got some commercials going on in the background. I've had friendships that I'm pretty sure I knew that we were going to be, you know, friends to the end of time. Um, that didn't happen. Definitely had to grieve those friendships, and it hurt to kind of accept some of those sometimes. Um, I've had to give up a city. That shit sucks. I don't think I'll ever move back to Chicago. It's not in my cards because I made decisions when I was younger that solidify where I am now, and I guess that's just what it is. But we can work something out. And I, the biggest thing I've had to grieve is the version of myself that got me here. I've always been a go getter, a hustler. I will, like I said, I work from literally. I'd get up and have to be somewhere and wash the dishes at 5 o'clock in the morning, and would not get back until 11 o'clock at night. It's actually led to an instance where I was in. A number of things happened and it snowballed, and I was involved in the incident. But in any event, I work. I will hustle. I will hustle my ass off, and I'm just really tired of having to, I guess, engage in like physicalities to earn income. It's got to be other ways. There's smarter ways to do so. I know I have the wherewithal. I know I'm cognizant of the the ways to do so. I have the ability to do so, but you just can't. There's something about it you can't shake. If I go somewhere right now, I go on a vacation somewhere. I know I can work somewhere in my industry. I'm going to go work, and I just don't think that serves who I'm trying to be or where I'm trying to go. And then not recently. It's like 2 years ago now, 3 years ago, but a friendship that I had to let go. It was an incident. I wound up in a penitentiary for no goddamn reason, for no reason. But it was at those 2 days that I spent in that dang cell. It was a version of me that existed at that time that I knew I needed to let go. So this is a totally different version, and it's just still progressing. I guess you can say because growth is expensive. If you're actually invested in it, then it's definitely going to cost you something. But the the goal is that the it outweighs the benefits outweigh the costs at the end. Um, yeah. But anyway, I'm just doing a check in. Let me see here because I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Okay. So I had no segue for that, right? And I'm gonna look over here because I got my notes, but you know you're supposed to have like my first segue was good, right? Thumbs up in the chat for my first segue, right? But I don't know about this one. Um, but with that thought, I was thinking is that sometimes you're not growing, and I really had to sit back and kind of differentiate between where I was at this, where I'm at right now. Is am I growing or am I just uncomfortable? Is this something that is going to subside? Is this just a feeling I'm having? And it's not, because I'm recognizing the signs of like growth. Like I am constantly exhausted. Um, you're shrinking yourself. I feel smaller in my creative output. That's why I'm here attempting to do something a little bit more than just sitting behind a desk telling people where to be and what to pick up. I I'm tired of minimizing the the hobbies and ambitions and just overall interest that I have. And I feel like I'm performing now instead of living. Like I don't, every day is the same wash, rinse, repeat. And I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, this can't be it. That's why I'm asking, like, this can't be it. And if this is it, it's because I don't I don't have no plan. I have no plans on making any changes. So something has to change from here on out. Um the old version of success. Like I say, look at the previous video. Wanted to be a boss bitch so bad. Wanted to be a boss bitch so freaking bad because I thought that's what success looked like. I thought the more money you had, the more power you had, which, you know, in a sense it is, but it doesn't have to be this difficult or this strenuous. And then I'm always fantasizing about a different life anyway. Not that I'm not grateful for this one, because I went through a lot of shit. I went through a lot to get to this point. So I don't want anything I say to not be taken with an ounce of gratitude. It's not, the truth is not fulfilling. I am not fulfilled, and I will not be fulfilled until I get to the point where I'm not fantasizing about anything different but waking up and living in that fantasy, right? Um, so right now, I realized security wasn't enough for me anymore. That's what I've been chasing for the past couple of years, due to homelessness, due to immaturity. I was immature for a long time. Let's just call it what it was. And I strive so hard to attain a level of security for myself and my family because I've never had it. And so now that I have it, I'm like, it's still not enough. So I don't know what else. I want experiences. I want to travel more. I want to be able to make an impact. And I want freedom. Freedom is such a layered term because I know I'll never be free to just do whatever I want. That's not what I want anyway. Just free to process thoughts, free to actually put forth effort into me and filling my cup up. That's the freedom that I'm looking for. Not really, I don't really care to do anything else. um, Let me see. Do we have anybody in here? I've been talking for a long time. I've been talking for a long time. I did 20 minutes today, which is longer than my last live, right? And then I know one of my kids in the only person that's been there the whole time. My kids are my biggest fans, so I don't care if I'll never not have a fan. They're my biggest fan musically. Every time I play my song, they're like, "When you gonna get back to the studio?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get back later." But not today. That's another thing. That's another thing. My desk keeps shaking, y'all. Shut up. Don't say nothing. because I'm shaking my desk. She's shaking the table. So, music, right? I'm stuck in that identity. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. I'll never be able to let it go. And that's okay. I really don't care about it. Um, but outside of that, like I feel like that's where a lot of millennials get stuck. Like we get attached to our identities. Like you're always a strong friend. So you feel like you always got to be the strong friend. Like you can never appear weak to anybody because the moment that you appear weak, they're going to take you at weak. They're going to think you're weak for every other instance after, right? You always been the responsible one. So anytime you make like an irrational or an irresponsible decision, like it's way worse than, dumbass over here that keeps making the same dumbass decisions over and over again, right? If you make one as the responsible one, then the world just crashed, right? You're always the fixer. So you feel like you need to fix people. You never can just like leave a broken person alone. I'm the host hustle culture girl, right? So I can't sit down. I'm always moving. I need to slow my ass down because my thoughts also go like that as well. And the older I get, man, you can't catch thoughts. You can have fast thoughts, doesn't mean that it's productive. So, um, but what happens when that starts hurting you, right? Like for me, hustle. I have a strong hyper independence, so it's hard for me to depend on anyone for anything. And I think that becomes stifling in a sense sometimes. Um, there are times where I feel responsible for everyone's happiness, and like even coming to a friend's aid, right? That's been the story of my life. All I would like a friend call me and they're like, "Hey, I got this, that going on. Okay, my bail money is ready. Where are we at? Where are they at? I got you." And for the longest time, I felt like that was my job. That's what I had to do. But it's just caused so much more friction and damage for myself. And then they're off living their life. They don't care. So it's time for me to remove myself from that identity. So I got another question. I got another question. And I want you to finish it off in the chat. If you're popping in, say hello or something. All right. So I'll go first. I'm learning that I don't have to be blank anymore. I am learning that I don't have to be strong all the time. I am learning that like it's okay to ask for help, especially me because I never ask for help. So if I'm coming to you asking for help, then I need some damn help. I am learning that I don't have to be perfect anymore. That's the biggest thing. I cannot stress enough. My perfectionism, perfectionist has led me to fail a lot of things because they weren't perfect. I can I can't even count on my hands how many things that have failed because I went to plan them, look at it, go to, oh, can't execute that perfectly. So it becomes a complete failure. And I'm just learning that that's not the case anymore. That's why I'm here. Just talking to myself. It's been people in and out this chat. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, somebody just left too. So so yeah, I that's what I'm learning. I'm just learning that sometimes we gotta make a shift, and that's where I'm at with that's where I'm at with it. I'm not gonna stay too much longer. Um, don't even have any responses to go off of. But anyway, tonight I just want to be very specific that tonight isn't about quitting your job or like ending a friendship, getting off of here, ending a friendship, or going on to blow up your life or anything like that. It's just about being honest with yourself. So I'm going to challenge myself to finish at least my list. And I challenge you too, because we'll be back next Monday. Even if I'm in here talking to myself or talking to my kids, we'll be back next Monday. I'll try to make this a weekly thing on Mondays. So your homework, if you come back, this will be it. I'm gonna leave it off in the chat. It's gonna be pinned. All right. So I want to know what no longer fits, why you're still holding on to it, and what would happen if you trusted yourself enough to let go. Like removing all fear. Like say you could not fail. Whatever it is, you cannot fail, whether it be your job, relationships, whatever. You cannot fail. What would happen if you trusted yourself as much as you know you do, if you let it go and reinvented yourself? So, um, overall, I think a lot of us are like standing in doorways right now, not where we were, but not where we're going, just stuck in transition, at least for me. And that's why I want to be as open and transparent as possible, because you get all these gurus and all these people and all these top creators and influencers and coaches and etc. and experts. And you see that. And they tell you the story. Like, yeah, I did this, this, and this. But we tried. There's some of us that are literally here because we heard this, and this, and we didn't listen. So I think there is a place where some people want to see the growth process, and that's pretty much where we're at here on Millennial Misfits. And transitions aren't comfortable, but there's no proof. There's no proof that we're even doing the right thing. So that's why we're gonna figure it out together. Um, Overall, you know, every meaningful thing in my life started when I admitted the old version of myself just didn't fit anymore. And maybe that's why some of you came through tonight. So, if so, this is where we'll be at. I'm gonna wrap up. I got about 2.5 minutes anyway. So, we'll be here. I'll see you guys next Monday. Just make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll be posting throughout the week. Here, this is the primary crux of this channel is growth and authentic and honest conversations. But sometimes I might travel, sometimes I may go eat because I'm a big bag. So sometimes y'all, we just experience life together and grow and try to make the best of our time here. So make sure I come back, and next time I think I did pretty good. I'm not even gonna say like, oh, next time I'll do better. I think I did pretty good. All right, I'll call you back. Bye.